Greetings and salutations, Tube Dwellers. This is your host, the Madbag, with another Madbag Gamer production. Today, something very special, Diablo 3. Before we get into any of the specifics, I'm going to go through some game options and stuff before I even create my hero. But let's check out this intro cinematic. It is quite the interesting bit.
And at the end of days, the first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men.
You'll notice I've already turned subtitles on.
The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity.
That looked like Diablo at the end.
Leah, are you all right, my girl?
It was nothing, Uncle. Just a bad dream. You should be getting home.
But there's still work to be done. If these translations are correct, the powers of hell could already be on the move. The world must be told of the coming darkness.
The Archangel of Justice.
You
No, actually,
do believe me, don't you, Leah?
I think that was the Archangel of Righteousness or something like that.
It
It's not Tyrael.
begun.
Oh God.
Leave it, Uncle. It's not important.
Don't leave the book behind, girl. Quickly grab his journal. Alright, so there is the introductory cinematic. I am going to chop this while I log in. Okay, so we have now logged in. You guys see a level 1 character there. That is not the character that I'm going to be playing here in a second. I'm going to start a new one so you guys can see the intro of that. But first, let's look at a couple options real fast. I won't take too much time here. Sound isn't important. I don't necessarily need the toasts, but that's okay. I'm going to turn a lot of these gameplay interface options on. I definitely want advanced tooltips. Elective mode removes the requirement for skills. I'll explain this once I get into the game. And I want a lot of numbers. I like seeing numbers. Actually, I don't think I want health bars. I do want all of the numbers on them, though. And then, of course, like any Blizzard game, key bindings galore. It is very customizable, which is awesome. We are not going to play a Witch Doctor. The character that I start right now is not going to be the character that I keep. I will probably eventually end up being a main character. I'm thinking either a barbarian or a monk. But I want some variety, so this introductory video I'm going to do with a demon hunter. And I believe the second I launch this, we're going to see a class-specific intro video that will change depending on your class. I guess actually the second I go into here. So, cinematic number 2 incoming. Act 1.
My family was butchered by Hellspawn. To witness such a thing is enough to leave your mind in ruins. The madness killed my sister and left me frightened and alone. Until I was rescued by survivors who had joined together to rid the world of the creatures of hell. They saw in me the strength to resist the demons, and they forged me into a weapon. Now I am ready. A meteor has fallen in Tristram.
On the cathedral.
The dead have risen in its wake. I will send them back to their graves.
Ooh. How diabolical.
Once I was hunted. Now I am the hunter.
The demon hunter. And in we go. I'd also like to say right off the bat, I really love the most lack of loading screens. There are a few loading screens, but for the most part, it lacks them. Alright, so let's get right into the abilities. Her first ability is the same as it was in the beta, so I happen to be a little bit familiar with it. It is the Hungering Arrow, which generates 3 hatred. We'll get into the class resources later, because I can't even use both of them yet. But it fires a shot that does extra weapon damage and has a chance to pierce through targets. Now, the really interesting thing about this is if you slightly miss, it will curve to hit its target anyway. So you see I'm actually firing kind of away from my target, and it's curving in to hit it anyway. And then sometimes you'll see it pierce and bounce all around and hit everything.
I have journeyed here to find the fallen star and purge its evil from this land.
It fell on the old cathedral. There was only one survivor, Leah. You should speak with her.
There were only 2 people in the cathedral. So what do you mean there's only one survivor? We don't know about Deckard Cain, so we're kind of looking at like a 100% survival rate so far. Down with the dead! Boy, the zombies, they come in waves.
I've never seen anyone fight like that before. Guards, open the gates.
Ah, kill streak. You'll notice I got some bonus experience for the kill streak. Another thing you'll notice pretty quickly about Diablo is that it's based on killing hordes of enemies. The Slaughtered Calf Inn. It looks like my map is pinging the objective for me. In we go with no loading screen. Leah.
Leah, is it? Rumford said that you survived the fallen star's impact.
I did, but it blasted my uncle Deckard Cain into the depths of the old cathedral. I tried to search for him, but the dead were already rising. I came back here to rally the militia, but watch out! The wounded are turning!
Uh-oh. Zombies in the inn. We can't have that. Zombies gotta go down. People are trying to sleep here. Level 2.
The dead will overwhelm us all, unless something is done.
Then I shall put an end to them and secure your town.
Thank you. You should speak with Captain Rumford at the gate. He can tell you what to do.
Our first quest. Alright, so at level 2 I now have a new skill and I get to choose where I put that skill. You'll notice that each of these is assigned to a button, each of the active skills that you can have. The first being left mouse button, second being the right mouse button, and then these are all number buttons on your keyboard, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the elective mode that I checked just a little bit ago before we watched the Demon Hunters intro video allows you to assign skills from any of these classes. You see primary, secondary, defensive, hunting, devices, archery, etc., etc. Being in elective mode allows you to assign whatever skill wherever, whereas if you're not in elective mode, it kind of restricts primary skills to the left mouse button, secondary skills to the right mouse button, and etc., etc., etc. So elective mode is just, hey, I know what I'm doing, let me put my abilities wherever I want them to be. We're going to dodge into Leah's room real quick here and pick up a bit of lore.
We've been under siege for 6 days now. Uncle Deckard is still missing. Captain Rumford and the others are losing hope. I tell them not to lose faith, but if help doesn't arrive soon...
Oh, that canceled it. Oh boy. I was getting ready to say that the really neat thing about the way they deliver lore throughout the game is that they do it in these little dialogue snips. that you can close the window that comes up on the left and just listen to the dialogue.
What can I do to help fight the risen dead?
I'm not going to.
But Captain Dalton and the militia were slaughtered by those things. Only I survived.
Don't worry, I will avenge their deaths.
Well, I have seen you fight. Strike at the wretched mothers and their queen. They're the ones vomiting out these horrors.
Ooh, wretched mothers. Vomiting out these horrors. That sounds nasty. Let's do a weapon impale. An impale, I guess. Straight to the wretched mother. So now you'll notice that I'm actually using... The Demon Hunter has two class mechanics. One is hatred and one is discipline. So the hungering arrow actually generates hatred. So it's kind of like your default shot that you use all the time. And it makes your hatred refill quicker than its regular regeneration. Impale uses the hatred, so it's kind of like a finishing move. And here's an example of the lore. I can close the window and keep playing. I'm not going to play all of those lore things. They are pretty interesting, but it would also be a lot of downtime. My Impale does extra damage. Let's see, what is it? It's 250% weapon damage. It does a little bit more than double my regular arrow damage. I do like the range of the Demon Hunter. That is very nice. And more lore. You get lore all over the place.
Time I saw these horrors shambling
wretched mothers. So the wretched mothers vomit out other little baddies. And these big fat guys sometimes will drop, will rip their torso off when they fall. Sorry, Deckard Cain, you gotta go. The large guys will, a portion of them stays alive even after they die. And they've got a little special animation where their body disconnects, the top of their torso disconnects from the bottom.
There's chaos everywhere.
And like I said, lore.
Killed the king.
Lochdannen did kill the king. Lochdannen had to kill the king. The king was corrupt. Ooh, a wretched mother. If I can, I want to get rid of her quickly. That was weird. I actually shot an arrow over there and it bounced back this way. How odd! I don't think this video is going to quite get up to the first boss, which I don't want to give away. I will say he's the Skeleton King. If any of you guys have watched beta videos, you probably already know that, because that's where the beta ends. I don't think I'm quite going to get up to that with this video, though. A matter of fact, I'm going to start clipping it a little bit to show just some little zones. I don't necessarily want to show my run through of all the wilderness, because it'll be a whole lot of what you guys are seeing right now repeated. Parts of the game are a bit repetitious, but in a way that's some of the joy of the game. Repetition to learn your abilities and how to most efficiently use them, and be slowly introduced to new enemy types and learn how to deal with them. The game is very cinematic for this type of game, though.
With hopes of
Things like that happen all the time. Dead crawl out of graves, dead crawl up out of holes. It's not, it's got a lot less of just enemies standing around waiting for you to come kill them. It's got a lot more of weird little ambushes that happen and sequenced events that occur right as you walk up on them. And hopefully, let's see, I think I can go ahead and start clipping this until I get to something meaningful. So let's jump ahead, shall we? Ooh, a level up. Level 3, I didn't go very far before getting that level up, so you guys didn't miss much, and it looks like I've got another skill, and I've opened up another active skill slot. Actually, no, I have not opened a skill slot yet. Ah, here we go. So, these primary skills are all hatred generators. You'll notice they all give you a small amount of hatred, and there's something that's meant to be used repeatedly as your primary weapon. The entangling shot does less damage, but it entangles enemies, slowing their movement speed. Looks like it starts out with just 2 enemies. I think it eventually gets better. Let's go ahead and try it out. I think I'm eventually going to like the Hungering Arrow better, but why wouldn't we try this out? And this is a good opportunity to check out some of my inventory. I've picked up a couple different things. I'm going to wear a few items here. Looks like my initial crossbow is better than anything else. Wow, that is really low damage. I should probably open with my Impale, as it uses some hatred, and then I'll use some shots to regenerate the hatred. A dank cellar. Let us see what is inside. This is another thing Diablo's very famous for. is... there's the entangling shot. And it looks like the 60 damage does hit both targets, so that's good. So it does less damage per target, but it does do AoE. Kind of, in that it hits 2 targets. It's not really area of effect, I guess, just multi-target. New lore, no thanks. I know scavengers steal stuff. That enemy type that I just killed, generally whenever you see them, they have a, I don't know exactly the statistics on it, of course, but I believe they have a higher chance of dropping magical stuff. The lore behind that is that they steal stuff from people. And I reached a checkpoint. I believe I'm getting ready to fight the first mini-boss in a powerful wretched mother. I am making very good use of that impale. I should probably keep my hatred locked with the impale. Keep it as low as possible and impale any chance I get, as my regular shot does not do much damage right now. Not that the hungering arrow really does a lot more. It's a couple points, but a couple points at this level is substantial. And I'm still not using it. I will develop the ability. Other than playing the beta a little bit, since release, I literally haven't touched this yet. The other character I started and I got to Tristram, I ended up chatting to my buddy for a little while. Didn't really even play it, and then went straight to recording, because I would really like to get this video out today, on release day. Yep, there, I ran out of hatred, so we're going to start using the shot. Just got enough hatred. There, see the corpses walking around, the torsos of the larger guys that I killed just a second ago. I believe the torsos always have just 1 hit point, so one more shot once they become a torso, and they go down. Quill fiends, those are the scavengers I was talking about. They're the ones that steal stuff and always have some notable treasure to drop. I should have used an entangling shot on those little corpses. Boy, that's weird how that little thing's bouncing. I don't know if it uses physics or if it's just glitched. Even if it does use physics, it looks like it's glitched physics as it bounces and bounces. You would expect it to just bounce once or twice if I hit it with an arrow. Or maybe even not bounce at all. I think I just got a bow that's better than what I'm using. And here is the wretched mother that I need to kill. Ooh, yeah, the wretched queen. And she is going down quick. So the way Diablo works, you can't really choose a difficulty to begin with. When you're low level, you play it on the easiest difficulty. And once you beat the game, I'm going to guess that you're in your 20s as far as level goes when you first beat the game. You get to restart the game at that same level on the next difficulty up. And it starts a whole new tier of gear, and your opponents strengthen and get new abilities and stuff. A treasure goblin. These goblins, if you don't get them killed within a certain amount of time, will eventually portal and get away from you. But if you can kill them, they'll drop an extra amount of special treasure. I hope... yes, I got him. See all the extra treasure that dropped out there. If you don't continuously hit them, they will eventually portal away, and you won't get all that treasure. Never fear, though. Me having ranged damage, it made it easy to consistently hit him. Now that I've gotten a couple pieces of gear that I think I can use, you can use the Alt key to make it show treasure. And you can set the behavior of the Alt key to where the treasure only shows when you hold the Alt key, or you can set it to where the treasure will show up for 10 or so seconds after you tap the Alt key, which is an improvement from Diablo 2. Let's take a look at my gear, and oh my, I have quite a bit. Sure enough, a vampiric short bow. Damage dealt is converted to life. And it's actually a little bit more than the damage I deal. That is pretty cool. Boots, I don't have any yet. Monster kills grant additional experience. That's cool. 4 armor, 1 armor. I'm thinking that is probably going to be the best bet. And I think that... Nope, here we go. We got some gloves, too. Do we have any pants better than what I'm wearing? I'm wearing 9 armor pants. I don't think so. I think that's probably the best I can do. Okay, so there, I'm starting to actually kind of look outfitted. I almost wish I could zoom in on my hero and show her off some. So, we're coming up on the completion of this Wretched Mother quest. I think I might chop it here until the next meaningful bit. I guess I could show you guys some of the dialogue. I might wrap this episode up, I mean. Hello, Captain
Thank you for
Rumford.
your help, but could you talk some sense into Leah? She won't give up on the idea of rescuing her uncle.
We
Nor
may
should
just
she.
be able to.
I will help her find him.
Quest completed. Gold and experience. Hello, Leah.
Come, let us search for your uncle.
We'll need to open the cathedral first. The guards locked it up before they were ambushed. Rumford told me they fought their way back to ADRIA'S hut. The key must still be there.
Alright, so we're going to go to ADRIA'S hut next. I think I'm just going to clip straight to it and show it off and then round the episode out there. So I'll see you once we get to the hut. Oh, one more note before I go to the hut, actually. In the beginning of the game, keep all of your magic items. Here in a second, I'm going to rescue a blacksmith, and we're going to have a blacksmith to basically do our bidding. He almost becomes like our blacksmith, our personal blacksmith. You can train him to make the items that he can make better, and you use magical items, you actually break them down to get the components to make other magical items, and it is the most reliable way to keep yourself geared out pretty well. So we'll explore that a bit, probably going to be in episode 2. Alright, let's go off to the hut.
We open the gate.
Scripted events, scripted events. We now approach ADRIA'S hut, and apparently I got an achievement for showing up here. Boy, the achievements will just be rolling.
Look, a hidden cellar. Follow me.
Here's the hut. Down we go.
Your mother had her secrets.
People said she was a witch, but I never believed it.
It looks like she may have been.
Dalton.
Snare! Snare! Stay away from me, Dalton. Uh-oh. Ice! It's an AoE I'm gonna want to dodge. Whoa. Dalton is no joke. That man had some hit points. A vampiric club. That is likely not going to be better for me than my bow. Note that something interesting about the way abilities work in this.
Here's the key, and my mother's journal. What I've seen of it is disturbing. I want to know more about her, but that can wait. We need to save Uncle Deckard first.
Agreed.
I will go. Stay here and learn what you can.
Thank you.
Aiden came to me last
Another
night.
level.
I suspected what was lurking.
And a quest complete. More experience in gold. More active skills. Ah, so I have my first discipline using ability. Lay a trap of caltrops on the ground that activates when an enemy approaches. Once sprung, the caltrops slow the movement of enemies within 12 yards by 60%. This trap lasts 6 seconds. So because I have 2 different movement slowing abilities now, I think I'm going to come off of Entangling Shot and go back to Hungering Arrow. If I need to slow people's movement, I will be using the defensive ability. And you see now that that goes to the 1 key. The way this works is you hover your mouse over where you want the spell, and then you do a 1. And actually it looks like this isn't one of those. I was thinking she was going to toss the trap out there. Some spells work that way. It looks like this spell lands wherever you stand. It just automatically goes down. And you guys can see the caltrops there whenever an enemy walks into this area. Bam! Let's go explore that ability just a touch before wrapping this all up. I'm going to say right there. Doesn't look like it's a huge slow. Let me try this again. You guys can see my discipline jumping down a little bit there. You don't, the way Hungering Arrow generates hatred, you don't have any kind of mechanic to generate discipline. Discipline is just something that comes back on its own, and it kind of limits your use of certain spells. Let's see how slow they move. That's actually really slow. That's pretty cool. And I am already becoming a zombie killing machine. Alright, so I believe the blacksmith is next, and I'm probably going to do him and Mr. Skelly King in episode number 2. So thanks for watching, guys, and look forward to more Diablo 3 content coming out from me soon. Yeah! Down with the dead. Hedge Tube Dwellers, this is your host, the Mad Bag, with another Mad Bag Gamer production. I'm going to give you a snippet of the future in Diablo 3 before going back to another alternate character and doing some of the lead up to Mr. Leoric, the Skeleton King.
Thank you for helping me fight the darkness. To continue
I
with
found
evil,
out what the
with
stars
lessons of
are,
what
and I'm not going to
means
spoil it
be
because
a
I
Templar.
believe I will eventually
so long
record
as you don't
that.
get in my way.
I want to show you some combat though with this character, as I've come quite a long ways with my Demon Hunter since originally showing her off. And I know you guys want to see new content, not just the stuff that's in the beta, so...
My queen sings to me. Her music echoes from beyond.
your queen. Oh boy, he's crazed. Cavern of ARANEAE. Let us see what is inside this cavern.
The air hangs heavy with the
The environments continue to get
This
cooler
does
and cooler.
not bode well.
I have a feeling I'm going to be fighting a lot of spiders. A little rapid fire here. Rapid fire is kind of cool because you can use it a little bit like an AoE and a single target spell. And then there you guys see me do a little vault.
Your fear betrays
The vault
you.
is pretty awesome. It's basically like a blink or a short range teleport.
Seem unthreatening, but
I've stopped already. I'm level 11 right now. I've stopped picking up most of this these white items. Notice their sell value is still only like 3 gold. It's really not worth it.
of their young. The spider.
Sorry, dude, you are interrupting me. Of course, you can step on these little spiders like you could in the previous Diablos. Ooh, that was a root and then a snare.
One of the oldest and most adaptable creatures in the world.
Oh yeah, the rapid fire.
Also seems to have acquired an unfortunate susceptibility to magic.
I love how I can't cross the webs, but these little spiders can just come running right across them. That is really cool.
And even
It's a neat enemy type.
Due to this hazard, I recommend staying out of
some
dark
terrain if you can.
wherever possible.
Yeah, right. I'll just stay out of those dark places then. Even that masterwork stuff is not really valuable. I would like to get to a little mini-boss before jumping back to some of the earlier content again, just to be consistent with the early content, but to show you neat stuff. Uh-oh. Toxic Lurker. Wow. That is one big dude. So what I was saying before I interrupted myself, I've begun to use both of the class mechanics for Demon Hunter, Hatred and Discipline. So you've got a lot of general shots that you use almost constantly that will generate hatred.
Ordinary.
And then you've got abilities that take hatred and then abilities that take discipline. I haven't seen any abilities that generate discipline, so it's basically just like a cooldown for any spells that use it. And the discipline spells tend to be defensive in nature, like Vault will let me get away from combat or just travel, or just travel faster. And it takes discipline. And then also I have a trap, caltrops. I can put a little thing on the ground, and when enemies walk over it, it snares them in a large circle. That snare is incredibly useful. Both of those use discipline, though, and they're kind of defensive abilities, whereas my hatred is the offensive bit. Rapid fire absolutely eats my hatred up fast. Whoa, my animation switched there for a second. And Hungering Arrow actually generates it right back up pretty quick, so I can do a lot of this rapid firing.
And what of the spider's prey?
And it doubles as a good single target or AoE, because it shoots so fast in such small increments. You can use it on smaller targets really easily. But since it does... Oh, hold on, that was a goblin. Oh yeah, I hit him. I think I'll be able to get him. Oh, come on, get that goblin. Get that goblin. I got him. Heck yeah. Alright, well that was a little boss I faced there, so... hate to do it to you, but I'm going to have to cut you guys off from the new content. We're going to go back to some of the stuff right before the Skeleton King real fast. And hopefully you guys will be seeing this in some upcoming episodes. I hope to get past the Skeleton King pretty quick so I can start delivering fresh stuff. So I'll see you guys there. God, the scenery is just so cool. Viral. I have now moved over to my Witch Doctor. I'm going to do a quick peruse of my gear. Nothing magical. I am only level 4 on my Witch Doctor. Let's take a look at my skills real quick. Actually, I'm going to cast one very first. Just because it's cool. Zombie dogs. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I've got the Poison Dart. You can also use Corpse Spiders. The way these two work is basically the Poison Dart does all of your weapon damage and then a little bit additional over the next couple seconds. The Corpse Spiders do very little damage per attack. However, there's a bunch of them, and they kind of delay their damage a little bit after you toss this little jar. It really has momentum, so as you toss 3 and 4 jars, it'll start taking out a pack of guys quick, but with just one attack, it kind of does inconsistent and small amounts of damage. So I'm going to be sticking with the Poison Dart for right now. I have Grasp of the Dead. This is an AoE snare that slowly does damage over time, based on my weapon damage. And then, of course, I have my Zombie Dogs. So now that you know the theory behind everything, let's see how it all works.
From the sky. Strange magic comes from below.
The intro video where a meteor hit, that's where it hit. Here's my snare. I'm going to toss out some poison darts here. Those big guys pop and release little worm enemies, so I'm going to take all of those out. I've got some lore to tell me about the big guys.
May seem slow and senseless, but they hide many dangers within their hideously malformed bodies. A set of spikes lurks beneath the monster's flesh, and foul parasites nest within them. It is said that these horrors themselves are constructed by a greater evil, a darkness that I cannot even fathom.
Still got all 3 zombie dogs. I can tell by the counter up there in their picture. I will likely recast as soon as I notice that drop to 2, which will probably be in big fights only. In these small fights, I don't necessarily expect it to happen. I'm not going to break all the barrels. Probably will totally cease breaking barrels, actually. You can get small amounts of experience for chaining your breaking of objects together. I think if you break 6 or more all at once, like within a couple seconds of each other, you'll get little bits of experience for it, but it's like, I don't know, maybe a 1/5 of a monster kill. It's very, very small amounts of experience, so not really worth focusing on. If you can just hit enemies while they're next to a bunch of barrels, maybe hit them with some AoE, that's about where that's useful, and pretty much no other areas. Dead guy crawling towards me, that's not ideal, because he probably won't stay dead for long. Actually, it looks like he did just die. Some champions, I wouldn't be surprised if these champions started taking out some of my zombie dogs. Any guys that glow and whose name are in blue are champion versions of their parent model or parent creature type. And I think I just had somebody enter my game, a friend of mine. Interesting. So hold on just a second, I need to coordinate something here. Alright, I have a buddy of mine, Bones, here. He actually just created his character. He is a demon hunter, which is the class you guys saw me start with. He does not have a microphone, so you're not going to hear him. Already checked that way. So you're not going to hear him chatting or anything like that. We're not going to do dual commentary yet. But you will get to see him run around, and you will get to see me fight slightly tougher minions because he's here. Yeah, actually, I can already kind of notice the difficulty increase. Difficulty of the game, difficulty of everything you fight in the game does increase. The strength of individual enemies as well as the number of enemies overall increases as members join your party. I know you can have at least 4. I think you can go quite a bit beyond that, but I'm not certain. And we're going to unleash some dual havoc here. This is going to be awesome. Down with the dead in droves. Oh, I just now noticed my zombie dogs are kind of low. I only had 1 out, so I'm going to pop those back up. Note that the Witch Doctor is the only class that uses conventional mana. The Wizard uses something very similar, Arcane Power. However, Arcane Power works a little bit differently. Mana is used for all of my spells in at least small amounts, and regenerates rather slowly, and you have a rather large pool of it. Whereas Arcane Power is not used for all wizard spells. Wizards have signature spells that don't use Arcane Power at all. And they have a smaller pool for Arcane Power, and they gain it faster. However, their spells use a lot more of it. For example, they have this Arcane Orb that uses about 1/3 of their Arcane Power, so you can really only use it like 3 times. But it's super powerful, and you get the energy back pretty quick, the Arcane Power. Mana, though, is a little bit more momentous. It goes down slower, it comes up slower, just because it's got a larger pool and because it regenerates slowly. Holy crap. So they feel a little bit different to use, which is really cool. And then the Monk has Spirit, which doesn't regenerate by itself. It only regenerates as you do certain moves. The Barbarian has Rage, and of course you saw the Demon Hunters too, in the beginning of this video and in the last one. Hatred and Discipline. I'm going to throw out some of these items, and actually I want those bracers, sadly enough. They're better than what I'm holding. Let me check the gloves. The gloves too are better than what I was holding. I was throwing stuff out though because all of the mundane stuff, all of the white or gray objects, barely give you like 2 and 3 gold. And that's pretty consistent throughout all of Act 1, so I got to the point pretty quick with my Demon Hunter to where I wasn't even picking up all of that stuff. And I think we're about to find Deckard Cain. I said, okay, it's got a ready check on certain events, which is kind of cool. Whenever anybody in the party goes up to a door that has an event on the other side, it asks everybody if they're ready to start the event, and then starts it for everybody at the same time. Which is cool because it synchronizes things like this cinematic. If neither one of us skip it, we'll be done with the cinematic at the same time. So that, you know, you're not waiting.
Soon all will suffer as I have suffered. Gods, bring me his bones.
His old bones. The near immortal Seraphim. Deckard Cain. Actually, Seraphim might be the wrong term. I might be getting parts of my lore mixed up. I think he may be a Haradrim. A Haradrim mage. A Haradric mage. I think. I'm not sure. Somebody will correct me on that, I'm sure, and I will tell them that they're brilliant and give them thumbs up on their comment. Oh boy, Mr. Head Cleaver. He is serious. He's serious about going down. And the henchman with him. Some magical stuff. Hip hip hooray. Some decent gold amounts. Again. Hooray hooray.
Oh, thank you. But
we have rescued Deckard Cain.
For me?
Because you needed my help.
I'm going to skip some dialogue here.
To hear that Leah
I have two more objectives to fit in this episode. I want to get the blacksmith on our side, and then I want to, let's see, find Leoric's crown. I believe I'm going to have to end up going into some crypts to find Leoric's crown. Cathedral Garden Waypoint. New Tristram! Oh, another cutscene.
I have kept my word to Leah and rescued her uncle Cain. I pulled him from the clutches of the Skeleton King, who still holds the fallen star.
He holds it, eh? That was a short little cutscene, but that's cool.
I have, but not
storyline update. And a bunch of experience, that's cool.
The Skeleton King.
Giving my buddy Bones here a friendly tip. Invest in the blacksmith, it is worth it. And to back up what I said in an earlier video, that the blacksmith's improvements, his training, is account-wide, so it goes for all of your characters. I did improving on the blacksmith with my demon hunter, and you'll notice that he's level 2, and that it's the more expensive versions of training at this point. So there's your proof. He does indeed stick around. Hopefully Bones will catch up to me. I'm not really going to wait on him just for the sake of continuing the flow of content in this video and continuing to further myself towards my goals. Blacksmith's having some trouble with a basement full of sick people that he can't bring himself to kill alone. So I'm going to go down there with him, and together we're going to make sure the rest of this town stays safe. Run down into him, just go ahead and get everybody to turn. That way I can AoE it up. Boy, I love that snare. Too nice. Where are my shots? My shots. They ain't showing. I do occasionally get some lag in this game. This is a game where you are always online, so if, for example, when I'm uploading a YouTube video, I basically can't even play this game. It lags very, very heavily. But that's alright, because as an always online game, for the most part, lag doesn't affect anything. It's definitely not normal. Matter of fact, I'm wondering now, as my Xbox is turned on, if it's pulling some information across my bandwidth.
Couldn't have done this without you. You'll find his tomb in a cemetery in the Weeping Hollow. And
We're
if you
going
see
to power level my buddy
apprentice
Bones.
out there,
He's
tell
already
him
level
to get
4.
back to town.
I've gotten 1 level. He's gotten 3. Yeah, we'll find your fool apprentice. What is this? Magical pants. Give me dexterity and extra life from health globes.
There's a big pack coming this time. Stand your ground.
Down with the scavengers.
That's the last of them. The bridge is clear.
Scavengers
Some
are
lore
ugly,
about the
pathetic
scavengers.
creatures who survive off of carrion and corpses, too diseased to attract any other carnivores.
The blacksmith's apprentice is going to be out here in this clearing somewhere. I'm probably going to cut some of the clearing off, but I want to find the apprentice before I do, because this clearing can get kind of big, and ultimately we're just going to be heading back over to, let's see, to a crypt, I believe, where we're going to find Leoric's crown and then have the blacksmith reforge it. I did lose a zombie dog, so let's pop them back out. So I'm going to chop some of this, but not until I locate the blacksmith's apprentice somewhere in the field. Little side quest the blacksmith gave me. Oh, that was not a well-placed snare. Ooh, level 6. I think I get my first rune here, and I think it's for this dart. Yeah, it's a poison dart rune. So Splinters makes the dart split into 3 different attacks that each do, oh god, some champions, that each do 60% damage. So it used to do 100% damage initially, and then 40 over 2 seconds, 40% damage over 2 seconds. Now it does 63 times, so it went from doing a total of 140 over some time to 180 pretty much instantly. That is definitely an improvement. The really neat thing about spells based on weapon damage, and I think about pretty much all the spells anyway, is that, oh, that was a bogus cast. They're based on your weapon swing speed, so if I carry a maul as a witch doctor, like a big two-handed hammer, I'm still able to use my darts, but they attack more slowly, they spit more slowly, which I think is really neat. I think it's neat. They do more damage too, because they're based on weapon damage, so it stays balanced, and it's kind of neat being able to modify it that way. I can use a small weapon like a dagger and have fast attacks that do small amounts of damage, or I can use a big weapon like a hammer, and I can have big attacks.
That makes them quite formidable.
Just giving my buddy Albo a little chat that we need to find the blacksmith's apprentice. And here comes another buddy of mine, walking in my door to see what Diablo's all about. And we're gonna jump right into some depth here before too terribly long. I know I'm passing up a lot of gold, but that's okay. Gold is not really hard to come by, and really the only thing you use gold for is leveling up your blacksmith. So far I haven't really seen many other sinks for gold, at least not ones that are really worth it. You can buy items, but generally it's easier to keep yourself geared out really well when you just level your blacksmith up all the time. Zombie dogs are getting low, gotta pop them back out. I'm pretty sure the Weeping Hollow, oh, I think I see a corner of something there that looks like a structure. And if it is, that's where the blacksmith's apprentice will be. What did he say? I thought it was a quest in beta that you had to do for Skelly King. That's not what I was looking at, was it? Yeah, it was. It's a side quest. And you do it way before the Skeleton King. Boy, I like having summons, pets, that continue the battle even when I'm being delinquent about it. I guess the blacksmith's apprentice isn't all important. Boy, they just don't quit out here, do they?
Need more time.
Yeah, no, I tried to double cast the grasp, and that does not work. Yeah, I'm liking that poison dart. Alright, I'm thinking we're just gonna walk on here, leave the apprentice. And now we're looking for the crown. I don't think I've got a whole lot of stuff on me, just because I haven't been picking stuff up. Uh-oh, here we go. special mob, and it actually looks like 2 different mini-bosses here. It's going to be pretty interesting. Snare, more snare. Not enough cowbell. Boy, that is one wickedly powerful dude. And he hurts. He only hit me once. And it took a chunk of my life.
The tragedies in these lands have left many restless spirits in their wake.
I wonder if that's better than what I've got right now.
These spirits
9
will
damage.
take out their vengeance on any unsuspecting individual who may pass, for they believe.
Alright, let's start checking out these crypts. There are 4 different crypts. The crown of Leoric can be in any one of the crypts, so hopefully I won't have to search all 4 of them, as that might make this video pretty lengthy. We will see, though, as I delve in. And it looks like Bones is taking a nap back by the entrance. He doesn't really care about how this fight goes.
Demons have been known
He's
to
leaning on me to
devour
handle
their
it.
own young
That's
when
fine.
no other nourishment is available. Their offspring, the imps,
little demon
sometimes
offspring.
manage to flee and band together with other demon spawn. They roll
As much as I like
vicious
Deckard Cain's
packs,
voice acting,
ready to descend upon
does
the
get creepy
unwary
sometimes.
traveler
He
and
describes
rip
some of this
his
crap.
body to shreds with their tiny needle-sharp teeth.
More ambush from the undead. Literally popping out of the stonework, as it were. Somehow I lost all my zombie dogs and hadn't been watching them. They return. Let's see. I think the crypt that eventually has the crown of Leoric is void of anything else, is void of other heroes and such, and I think all the other crypts have some sort of event or hero in them. So hopefully as I go down in here, I know that the one with Leoric in it does have one guy, but I'll recognize him the second I see him. Hopefully that will be this crypt, and I won't have to delve into any more. Whoa! With some crazy dart spit. Since I'm using a dagger right now, this dart spitting is really quick. I've used a couple slower weapons, at least in the beta I did. And it kind of makes this skill a bit of a drag, just because since you throw 3 of them out, when you throw 3 of them out slower, it locks you down for a longer point of time. Makes sure you can't move until all 3 are out. When that's happening slower, it really decreases your overall mobility. Get a little AoE up and see if we can't drag some of these bad boys into it. Looks like it doesn't matter. We're pretty much just going to plow all the way through. Oh, more champions. Ghastly Gravedigger. Boy, that would be a sucker fate. And Bones gets a level up. A leather hood. I don't think I have any hood yet, so that's going to be useful. Yeah, looks kind of crazy. Ooh, magical chest armor. That's pretty cool. Okay, this is going to have to be it. If it's down to level 2, then I don't think any of the other crypts have a level 2. Oh yeah, sure enough, here we go. This guy is definitely special to the crypt containing Leoric's crown. And my zombie dogs are dying really quick. He actually died really quick.
Are formed from human corpses that were flung into mass graves without a proper
Chancellor's
burial.
tomb.
This hideous amalgamation of bodies decomposes together into one being, bound by some foul magic. For all my knowledge, I could only flee from it.
Oh,
and
I
would
think
expect
this is the
any
room,
other
actually.
sensible person to do the same.
My power grows fast.
Ooh, a rune for grasp. I use grasp quite a bit, so I'm gonna have to slap that on in just a second. Unfortunately, putting a rune on is gonna set the cooldown off, I don't want to do that while I'm still fighting. So I'm going to have to take just a second. Okay, I think I have just a second now. It's on cooldown, it's on cooldown. Increases the slow amount. That's sweet. So it is going to have a greater slow here in just a moment. That's going to make them crawl. I'm thinking that in a couple of different ways, this snare that the Witch Doctor has is quite a bit more powerful than the Demon Hunter's caltrops. I would say it's quite a bit more powerful than his entangling shot as well.
No, I will not allow you to bring
Zombie
that
dogs, come back to me.
to this world.
Oh, you can even tell it's got a different graphic. It's all purple now. That's awesome. And this Chancellor's death is going to reveal for us the crown. And I think I'll be at a good wrap-up point. So here's the crown. And I receive a town portal. Cool, let's go talk to the blacksmith real quick. And see if he can reforge this crown for us. And then we'll be moving on. Bones caught up with me quick in level. I'm coming, blacksmith. I'll be right over there.
Interesting things on my latest dig.
Ooh, I got
It needs some
magical
care.
leather hood too.
It's good to
Check
work
some of
again.
that out.
There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something.
Yeah, no, you need something more in life. You need a purpose.
The crown is in my keeping. Direct me now to the lost king.
At last. With it, you can unlock the sealed door in the room where you rescued me and enter the royal
okay.
crypts.
So now we're ready to go down to face King Leo himself.
Got a right good bunch of things for you.
Alright, well, thank you for watching, guys. That's going to be the end of this episode. Catch me in the next.